Hey, everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast. And we got some NFL and college football games to talk about this week.
Yes,
I believe this is the sacred weekend that was circled for a lot of people, especially in college football earlier in the year. Am I right in saying that? 19th?
Oh, yeah. That was I think it was the 12th, right?
Last weekend. I thought last weekend was good, but this weekend is just as good.
Oh, yeah. So that's the thing. When you see those preseason weekends, it's like, yeah, on paper it's good, but we don't know how the season is going to turn out by then. There could be some teams that turn out to be awful or vice versa. So, but no, it was a good weekend overall, I think.
It was. Yeah. It was. I was a little nervous in my game, but that's all right.
Yeah. We've been making you do that lately.
I know. Yeah. Yes, they have. We'll get to that in a little bit. But no, hey, we're going to start off this morning, this Wednesday morning with some NFL headlines. Yesterday, a lot of news hit. I'm not going to lie. All right. I'm just going to start off by saying that I wasn't sure how I'd feel about having episodes released on Wednesdays versus Fridays. But I'll tell you what, I love the fact that most NFL news and big news and stuff comes out of these leagues Tuesday. So like we're able to like get all the information and it's like, holy crap, it's just like word vomit everything. And I feel like a lot of our discussions are really relevant because they're brand new. You know what I mean? So I'm not hating this. I'm not hating this record and release on Wednesdays here. So
I mean, we started at a perfect time with the last 2 Mondays have been huge news out of the NFL and
right.
In college football for that matter too.
Right.
But.
So a lot of things happen. So obviously, elephant in the room. Not talking about myself. Davante Adams to the Jets. Trent, I'd like to hear your thoughts as a Raiders fan. Sorry, I went right at you.
Yeah, that was.
Well, I'm sure he has the most to say about it.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, we're starting that way. Good.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
So you'd say you don't really care.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. It's not like. I mean, is there a disappointment factor? Yes. But to me, it's just the NFL. It's how the NFL, the landscape is. It's kind of how professional sports, the landscape is. How many times do we say contracts don't mean shit?
Yeah.
They don't mean shit. If a superstar says, I don't want to play, they're not going to play. It's that day and age because these guys have made enough money now that they realize I don't really need to be on the field. I can just sit to the side, hold in, and make money off of the, fake an injury because that's what he was doing. He was faking an injury.
For sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's pathetic. I think it just goes to show you that when they make a certain threshold of money, it kind of takes the how do I want to put it the I don't know the like just the game is ruined. Like I think the game's ruined. I think the league is broken. There's just too much money, and don't get me wrong. I know the guys sacrifice their lives day in day out to play that sport, but I mean I'm not even gonna say they sacrifice their lives to do it. Like that's not the truth. Maybe one guy almost did 2 years ago, but like. In my opinion, go to the Jets and just rot for the remaining of your career because you probably got this is it maybe with Aaron Rodgers, maybe another year. Rodgers is not going to carry you to a Super Bowl. That defense is showing that they can't carry you to a Super Bowl because they had to carry that organization too much for the past 2 years that I think they're getting exposed. I kind of, you are going from, don't get me wrong, Raiders organization is not very good in terms of being managed. All right. But with the issues that come about with keeping Adams, and when I say issues, it's cap room. And I know we didn't get compensation that we'd probably say like, oh my gosh, third round, could conditional pick, right? Could jump up to a 2, right?
Yeah. Do we know the conditions or not? Or did anyone hear them yet?
I have to look at them. But the biggest thing is we got rid of all his contract. The Raiders are going to have over $108 million in cap space. They're going to have 9+ draft picks, probably have a top 5 pick. Every single team drafting in front of the Raiders already has an answer at quarterback. Either they're brand new or they're the Bengals and have Joe Burrow, and they're not going to sit there and draft a quarterback. So it's like, to me, I look at it like, all right, you know what? Once again, it feels like my whole entire life has been a rebuild, but it's truly, the Raiders are truly rebuilding. I mean, look, you've gone from a year or two ago from having Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr, and Davante Adams. Right? That was your team. That was your team right there. And guess what? All those guys are gone. Guess what? Ruggs gone. Right? How many other
he sped on out of there.
Yeah. But I'm just, and you know what? I look at the Jets organization, and I hope they're happy together. I would compare this trade now and this pairing to like that time when the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets agreed to trade like Paul Pierce and Garnett to the Nets, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, the two of the big three are going to the Nets. The Nets are going to be great," and they sucked. They underperformed, right? Yeah. So I'm just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it could very well happen that the Jets have a chance. I mean, the Jets still have a chance in that division, but I was way off. The Bills are better. Bills are better than Jets. Because you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen is still a gamer. I think a lot of the turnovers last year really turned us away from Josh Allen. Josh Allen is still the best guy in that division.
Yeah. I think, well, number one, Trey, to answer your question, you asked about the stipulations. I believe the ones that I read that he has to be a first or second team All-Pro. Mm-hmm. And then if he plays in the AFC, I think then if he plays in the AFC Championship.
Or the Super Bowl if he's on their active roster.
Right. I mean, if you're playing, yes.
So it sounds like the Jets aren't banking on doing too much. Those are some pretty tough. What's it called? Conditions for the Raiders to actually benefit from that.
Well, go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say, like, I think from the ownership standpoint of the Jets, I think this is almost, pun intended, a Hail Mary to try to save the season when they're realizing, like, oh boy, we had to fire our coach after week 5. We have lost 3 in a row with our Aaron Rodgers quarterback this year, who was supposed to lead us into the promised land, who's, I'm not saying he's terrible, but he's not old Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think bringing in a prima donna star wide receiver like Davante Adams, who, again, was he hurt? Was he not hurt? I don't know. I mean, doesn't seem that way. But at the same time, I think this is a Hail Mary by the Jets to say, like, we better do something drastic or we're going to lose a lot of people here. From the locker room to just a lot of, the fans will be pissed off. Like, this, whatever they didn't work. And I don't think it's going to work either after this. I mean, I would say the Jets maybe win one of their next 3. They might walk into, I think they'd end up being like 3-7 or something like that. I don't think, whatever it looks like on paper, I don't think that this is going to pan out, because I think that they need more than just a big wide receiver. You had Garrett Wilson, you had Mike Williams. Like, you have wide receivers that are good wide receivers. All right. And here you are, let's bring another one in. I don't think it's the answer. I mean, I understand it's cool, and it'll get the fans excited. In terms of playing a football game and winning games, I don't think it makes much of a difference, to be honest with you.
So, I don't know. This is weird because it was written on the wall the whole off season. There's rumors about it. Aaron Rodgers made comments, and it still caught me off guard today when I saw the headline. But just out of curiosity, like, if this isn't the answer for the Jets, right? Like, they have a very small window of opportunity. I think everyone kind of agrees on that. With Rodgers he's 40 years old. Who knows if he's going to play after this year or not? But Now I lost my train of thought. Shoot.
What is the answer? I think you were
Oh
going.
yeah. So anyway, what would you say if it's not trading for Davante Adams? What would make them turn their season around? What would give them hope? Anything? Because like to me, I think this is it. Like now you're getting Aaron Rodgers' guy that he played for 14 years, 15 years, and has probably the best connection, one of the best connections of all time with a
But
wide out quarterback.
but haven't been together and have to figure timing out again after 4 years.
I mean, I'm sure
Like,
that won't. I mean, I don't
so-
think that's that big of a deal. But
I think the problem is offensive line isn't protecting that well. Number one, to give Rodgers the kind of time that he might need, because he's also not as mobile as he once was either, to be able to spin, roll around, and just kind of heave it up like he used to. All right, not saying he can't. I think that's a problem, and I also think looking at it now, coaching's a problem. Everybody thought that Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett were going to be this match made in heaven. Well, Nathaniel Hackett's not even calling the offense anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe the issue is the coaching aspect of things, where maybe the Jets just don't have a good team. It's just a bunch of talent with no camaraderie. It's like, hey, we got a good defensive tackle, we have a good defensive back, we have a good wide receiver, and we have a good scat back, because I wouldn't even call Breece Hall a running back. All right. So we have a couple of good athletes. We have a couple of good athletes.
He's like a top 5 running back in the league.
He's a scat back. He's more out of the backfield.
Dude. That's wild.
It's not a disrespectful thing. I'm not calling it as a bad thing. I just wouldn't say he's like a running back. I'd say Derrick Henry's a running back.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's he's an anomaly.
That is true. But I would like to say I think Rodgers is controlling too much.
Don't disagree with that either.
I don't agree with that.
I don't hate Rodgers either.
I think he brought Hackett in. Hackett looks like crap now. Like now the whole Sean Payton thing maybe wasn't so far-fetched. That pissed me off at the time, but maybe it isn't so far-fetched.
I think they brought Hackett in first.
And then they did before him. But other thing I want to talk about is, okay, then the supposed mysterious phone call to a Jets player the night before Robert Saleh was fired. That was Aaron Rodgers, hands down. GM and owner of the team had a call with a unknown Jets player. That was Aaron Rodgers. And now Aaron Rodgers throws Mike Williams completely under the bus last night, blaming him for running the wrong route on the final play where he slipped and fell, and then it got picked off. And now the word today is that they are willing to trade Mike Williams.
So my thing is that, I mean, if you're, what's his name, Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson, right? And you just got Davante Adams, and did Mike Williams run the wrong route? And did that cost them a first down? Because what if it did? And him just stating a fact and maybe holding someone accountable, is that bad of a thing?
Hey, you'll have a little soft.
And no, I'm just saying. And if you have Aaron Rodgers on your team and your window of opportunity is small, wouldn't you want to do things to appease him and make him happy for the short time that you have him here? So I don't know. I know it comes across, it very well could be that he is having a say in all these things and having a huge influence. But I think it's more of trying to make your star quarterback happy that needs to win now.
Can I just say the difference here? And I'm going to compare this to potential short window of time.
Mm-hmm.
Go all in to win a Super Bowl, and kind of potentially sacrifice your future. I look at Matt Stafford and the Rams.
The Rams, yep. I was say the Rams.
They went so all in. Matt Stafford just showed up. Did he have a say in the offense? Absolutely, because him and McVay were, they're still a great duo together. But
I
look at the difference of the controversial aspect of it. Now, get me wrong. I mean, Rodgers then also tearing his Achilles did help that window. But I also think it kind of narrowed the window even further, in the sense that I think they're going to, is the short term of making Aaron Rodgers happy worth the long term of completely depleting your future? Because let's be real.
Is Mike Williams part of their future?
No, I'm not. I'm not. So you're using Mike Williams as a small sample size. I think the whole entire team is. I just don't see. I mean, if you're Davante Adams, are you going to retire as soon as Rodgers does? That'd be my question.
I don't know.
Because you are then once he's gone, you are stuck in a very, very bad place. Because you supposedly,
I was going to say, it's no different than the place he was at before.
You supposedly wanted to get out of there to avoid Rodgers leaving and going and go join your best friend, Derek Carr. I mean, it's just, I don't want to spend too much longer on this, but I don't know. I mean, I get it as a Raiders fan. Yeah, I would have liked more compensation. It sucks that we can't hold on to a star wide receiver. But once again, it's this day and age. I said it last week on the show. You know who didn't do this when they didn't have a franchise quarterback? Tim Brown. And guess what? Tim Brown has a Hall of Fame career to show for it. Doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, but Davante Adams doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, and he's not a Hall of Famer. So, no chance. No chance. Reggie Wayne.
You don't have to argue with me about that.
Reggie Wayne has a better career than Davante Adams.
Man, he might be a Hall of Famer.
I'll give you that. Reggie Wayne should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Reggie Wayne is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think he's gonna be.
We do have a lot more headlines to kind of get to. I know they probably won't spend as much. Davante Adams obviously is big news of yesterday. Another wide receiver on the move, Amari Cooper to the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't have to spend a ton of time on this because Amari Cooper right now I think is rated second worst wide receiver in the league in terms of stats, drops, and everything else, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah. He got thrown in the ball.
So that I guess that'd be my question, just to kind of, does Amari Cooper have a second win this year with Josh Allen on the Bills? Like, is this going to be a good fit for Josh Allen and the Bills? You know, I mean, they've shown to be pretty successful. I also don't think, you know, obviously they got rid of Diggs, but that actually kind of seemed like it was more of a blessing in the long run of things. But I don't know. I mean, Amari Cooper, you know, he's had some prima donna tendencies too as a wide receiver.
With who?
Yeah, actually, so I'd like to touch on that, Tyler, because
with who?
One of the points I have about this acquisition of Amari Cooper is that the Jets are getting someone completely opposite of Stephon Diggs to fill almost his shoes, like a leader.
You mean the Bills? The Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills.
What did I say?
You said the Jets.
I'm sorry, I meant the Bills. Yeah. So I think I completely disagree with you. I think Amari Cooper is not a diva wideout. In fact, I think he's a level-headed, good locker room presence, which is okay. I think he's the complete opposite of Diggs.
I don't know. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying I don't think that Amari Cooper was happy with the Browns. I think it was expressed, not as expressed as like a CD Lamb or the Brandon Ayuk's or some of these other guys that are Davante Adams. But like he also was not happy. He wasn't performing at his best. I don't think he was going 100%. Go ahead.
I don't think Stefanski's happy as a Brown right now.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Watson has ruined that franchise.
Yeah, 1,010%, dude. Like Stefanski is literally handcuffed. And now is it true that Jameis is starting this week or no?
I don't know.
I haven't seen that yet.
Like it 100% through. You can just read the body language of Stefanski when he watches Deshaun Watson just play the game of football, because it's horrible now.
Is that what he's calling it? Playing football? Is that what he's calling that game?
Playing tag, whatever, massage, whatever, you're it. But
wasn't going there.
But anyway, he's literally being told all of our money's there, so you must get him on the field. Yeah. Keep him on the field. Because if you don't, then guess who looks like a total dumbass? The ownership. Yeah. Ownership does. Yeah. So I don't. Maybe you're relating back to like when the Raiders got rid of Amari Cooper. I just think that was John Gruden thinking he could turn water into wine back in the day, because he thought he was like the godsend of wide receivers and offensive coach. Yeah. So I think he was too old school in the sense of, I'm not going to pay a superstar. I'm going to develop a low undrafted Hunter Renfrow to be a machine. And, you know, but I don't think Amari Cooper is a locker room issue. I think that's a huge addition for the Bills. And once again, I was all on saying that the Bills were in a rebuild. Well, if that's how you rebuild, that's pretty impressive. I mean,
keep
that's
in mind,
like
I'm not
I
saying
said
Cooper, I'm not saying Cooper's a locker room issue. What I'm saying is that
it's a prima donna.
Stephon Diggs wasn't always
On the
outwardly
tape.
outspoken. Okay, I'm trying to clarify so you guys understand what I'm saying.
it.
What I'm saying is that Josh Allen seems more comfortable because he doesn't feel pressured to get the ball to a prima donna wide receiver.
Agreed.
Right.
And I don't think Amari
now,
Cooper is,
but now he had, but Amari Cooper, I would consider a star. Now he has a star wide receiver, and that's all.
Difference
I'm saying
between a star and a prima donna.
All right.
There's definitely a difference between a star and a prima donna.
One last thing I want to say about these trades and blockbuster deals is, you know who the biggest loser out of all these is? Philadelphia Eagles, who also gave up a third-round draft pick for Jahan Dotson, who maybe has three catches on the year.
Yeah. And you know what? That's true because everybody was like,
I thought it was a steal at the time.
Everyone did say that was a huge steal.
Yeah.
But yeah. Talk about the Eagles, man. We'll
get there.
Siranni, I do have that. Yeah, I have that on here too. So we will get to that because
what an idiot.
Yeah. I guess there's there's a couple other things we can talk on. Again, we don't talk in length here. Russell Wilson getting first team reps with the Steelers.
Stupid.
Obviously, a big headline. Is he the starter? Tomlin won't say that yet, but he is getting first team reps. I don't know why when Justin Fields is 4-2. I'm not saying that their offense is stellar by any means, or do I even know why they're doing that? I don't know. But giving Russell Wilson now first team reps when your team's 4-2 and doing all right just kind of baffled me. So,
yeah,
maybe it's a trade thing. Maybe I don't know.
My thought was ownership or GM, but yeah, you're right, Tyler. I didn't know it wasn't confirmed. I thought it was that Wilson's starting, but yeah, Justin Fields is 4-2. He's accounted for 10 touchdowns, 1,400 yards total between rushing and passing. So, and this is his best season that he's had in his career by far. So why do this to like a blossoming quarterback that could be your franchise quarterback? Like, let him see what he can do. Let him run with it. Maybe he catches this confidence and he turns a corner in his career. And
I think I gotta think it's a trade thing.
Like to trade Russell?
Yeah.
But who's going to trade for Russell?
Quite a few teams out there.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, and then why would the Steelers not do that? They're not paying him anything, and now you can get trade picks for a free quarterback.
I just think that Tomlin wouldn't be that detrimental. I don't know. That would be detrimental to his team and what they got going. And why do that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Fields has a higher QBR this year than Rodgers, Goff, Herbert, and Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
And you're gonna bench him for Russell.
What a day! When Trey would sit there and talk up Justin Fields.
That doesn't play for the Bears anymore.
What a day! Tyler, I think there's two sides to it. One, you're right, to attract potential suitors for maybe to get something for Russell Wilson, because at this point, if you feel like you have your guy in Fields, why not try to get some sort of draft compensation for Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, either way, they keep him, they don't keep him, it doesn't hurt the Steelers. I think they're paying him like $1 million this year, something like that. But the other thing I also think is maybe give him a chance to maybe bring the Justin Fields hype down a notch. So, because Justin Fields is not under contract after this year. So is that ownership saying like, watch, we can do it with this guy too. So be careful. It sounds ridiculous. I get what you're saying, but it's a business, man. If those owners are going to be able to save a $1 million or not $1 million, a couple $100 million on a Justin Fields, because what are you going to do? Are you comfortable enough after this year only to give him the type of money that quarterbacks are getting nowadays? Because that's what they're going to demand. That's what he's going to demand.
He can't demand that.
He will.
He won't. I don't think he will.
He will.
There's no way he's.
I don't think there's enough proof from him.
That's like, yeah, and I think he's aware of that, and I think an agent would be realistic with him too.
Was there enough proof for many guys in the league that got paid this year? Was there enough proof on I'm not dogging him because I think he's phenomenal. Jordan Love. They got paid.
I think there was, yeah.
He got paid. He had one season.
I was gonna say, Trey, you can make the same argument for Ayuk, though. Ayuk technically only had one major season.
That's what I mean, man. I mean, there's guys out there that get paid tons of money that you're like,
okay, Ayuk, that's a different story.
Baker Mayfield. How many places he failed in this past offseason? He got paid money. Trevor Lawrence.
He was,
how many has he had a really good year yet? Oh, he made the playoffs that one year where they came back. How many interceptions did he throw in the first half? 5? Like, come on, man. Like, these guys are getting paid buku bucks for doing nothing. It's just because they're a franchise player.
Yeah, but look at what Justin Fields got traded. He got traded for like a 6th-round pick.
Trevor Lawrence is a bigger problem in Jacksonville than Doug Peterson.
Okay, so actually, perfect segue. Perfect segue here, because this was one of my highlights here that I had in terms of headlines. Doug Peterson's quote said that it is time for a change of culture.
Yep.
So my question is, what the hell does that mean?
That means that they need to fire him. That's the change of the culture that they need. Is they need a new head coach.
Doug Peterson saying like, "Hey, you should fire me."
That's what I'm getting from it. And man, he's spot on because he is awful. That is embarrassing what that franchise is doing. I mean, what
or is this a cry for like, "Hey, Trevor Lawrence is not our guy.
No,
why do we pay him $220 million for not doing anything?" Like a culture change. I just don't understand what that means. Coming from your head coach.
Head coach controls the culture, in my opinion.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
that's why I'm saying it blows my mind. Like, it's a weird comment.
He might be waving the flag, Ty. I mean, now that you read that quote to me, it might just be him saying, "Listen, like, I don't want to do any. I don't." Or it might be his way of giving them the middle finger, saying, "Hey, bring in the next guy and see how much better you do." Because I mean, right now it's kind of looking like Urban Meyer wasn't a huge problem with the way this team goes.
Jeez.
So
all I'm going to say is, since Doug Peterson's been there for 3 years, on offense or defense, the highest strength that either of them have had in the league is 16. He's never been better than half the league on either side of the ball since he's been on the Jaguars. That's awful. This year he's 30th, 31st, and 32nd in off red zone scoring, yards per game, touchdowns per game, points per game, yards per play, and fourth down conversions on defense. They're ranked 30th, 31st, and 32nd in all those categories. That's awful.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Talk about a culture change. You need coaches. You have that's insane.
No, I just figured it out. What he's saying is that they just need to become the London Jaguars.
Yeah, there you go. Like an actual culture change.
That's all funny thing is, like, if you lose, they need to do like a London series where, like, in order to come back to the United States, you must win a game.
Oh, wow.
If not, you're stuck.
Like, get relegated to Europe.
Do like take the bottom 4 each year in the league and make them do a London series and like just a round robin tournament. Ah, shit! Don't do that. The Raiders might be in London from here on out.
I guess we'll talk one other thing, then we'll kind of get in some games here quickly. But
I have something.
All right. I don't know. I was just gonna say this kind of touches on what you guys have brought up a little bit ago. Was Siranni in Philadelphia won against the Browns, 14-10, I believe it was. Right. Yeah, 4 points.
Yeah, it was 2016 or something.
And Siranni was seen talking smack to the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Talk about toxic.
It's embarrassing, man.
Eagles fans have a toxic guy leading their team right now.
It's like he's like a grown child.
So, so I want to bring this up. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Do as I say, not as I do. If you don't recall, how many weeks ago was he trying to sit there and tell who's the D tackle out of Georgia they got? I mean, I guess he's sitting there telling that guy, his player, to stop talking to the fans, stop chirping to the fans. And he's, that player is like, get the hell away from me. Now you see why.
Yeah.
Sirianni's just as bad. Sirianni's a douche.
Yeah. And then after the game, douche. Two things after the game he did that made me even more mad about it was that he kind of blamed his players about it. They're like, well, they've been asking for me to be my old self, so I figured I'd, give them what they want. Like they were the ones asking for it. And it's like, dude, just take the blame. And the other thing, which is a little less blatant, was that he brought his like little child to the post-game conference with him after that.
That was
using him as like a little human meat shield from the Philly media.
Prop, yep.
Yeah, and that was like so. I was like, God, you're a scumbag, dude. Like,
yeah. Trent, anything else? You said you had something.
Yeah, I want to talk about Trey's constant.
That's right. I was going to talk about it too, Trent.
Trey's constant touchdown or turnover. The NFC North get him 3 playoff teams.
Might get 4, maybe.
So one, very impressive Vikings. Sam Darnold MVP year. But I will say this is I would pump your brakes a little bit on one team in particular, and that's the Chicago Bears. Okay. Everyone's all jacked up about the Bears. They beat the 1-4 Titans, the 1-4 Rams, the 1-4 Panthers, and the 1-5 Jaguars. So please, once again, pump your goddamn brakes. You are still the Bears until you start beating top quality caliber teams. Beat the Packers. Then I'll listen. Then I'll maybe I'll start to pay attention. Beat the Lions. Then maybe I'll pay attention. But I'm sorry, you have as many wins as those 4 teams combined have that you beat. So put that into perspective. Don't get me wrong. I think Caleb Williams is gaming right now. Still, to me, it's a little bit of like frantic football when I watch him. Like it's not like a smooth boom, boom, boom down the field. Very frantic.
He's like surviving.
Yes, surviving is a great way to put it. I mean, he has a boatload of weapons. Every time you see a guy catching the ball, you're like, holy hell, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, who's the guy that just got DJ, or you got DeAndre Swift. Your tight end is Kmet. Kmet's not a joke. I mean, he's a good tight end in the NFL. So I just would say, pump your brakes, Bears fans. Enjoy it right now, but things could turn. The cream always rises to the crop top.
Yeah.
I do believe Vikings, Packers, and Lions will be getting into the postseason.
Lions are going to be a very different team without Hutchinson. I'm just going to say that.
I agree with that.
Unless they bring in Hassan Reddick.
So, they might.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Trent, I'm glad you brought this up because that's funny. I was literally going to add on to after whatever you were going to say, but they're 17-5 as a conference so far, the NFC North, which I think hasn't been done since 1970 itself. The other thing that I thought was absolutely insane is that the point differential in the NFC North is plus 211.
Oh, I have that too.
The next closest conference is plus 20.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's like hard to believe, but yeah. Anyway, worst is AFC South minus 71.
Can't say that surprises me.
AFC South, yeah. Look at the NFC. Look at the NFC West.
Yeah, it's like minus what?
Minus 47.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Wow.
All right, you guys ready?
Hey,
you guys ready for some games this week?
Let's make some best bets.
I was gonna say, can I just do a real quick thing? Don't have to defend it. Just give it to me. You're way too early. We're a third of the way through the season. Give me your way too early NFC AFC championship. And why don't we just stick with that? We don't even need to say Super Bowl winner, do we? Let's just go NFC AFC. That way you give me your top
like
4 championship game. Just give me a top 2 from each. Yep, give me top 2 from each.
Ty, you want to go first?
No, I don't, because I wish I would have
just rattle these off.
All right, I'll go. I'm gonna go Chiefs Texans.
Chiefs Texans.
AFC.
Gotcha.
NFC. Oh man. NFC. I'm gonna go Lions Packers.
Lions Packers. I'm just going to change it up because I think Trey, you and I would add the same top 4. I will go Lions Packers.
Oh wow.
Lions Packers NFC. And then I want to go AFC. AFC, I'm gonna go Ravens Chiefs. I wanted to put the Texans in there, but I wanted to actually put them in over the Chiefs, but I can't do it. Yeah. Chiefs are winning ugly. So
yeah.
Ravens Chiefs, Lions Packers.
I also have Ravens Chiefs, and NFC I got Niners Vikings.
You believe in the Vikings that much, huh?
Yeah, and I think that matchup, I mean, the way that they kind of dominated San Fran the first time, Niners better figure that out.
Yeah.
If they have to play again. So I do. I think the Vikings are playing. I think it's coaching there.
Yeah, I just think that the NFC is, I don't know. I think there's a lot. I don't know. I just don't trust Sam Darnold. I don't trust him yet. And I don't trust their run game, really. Aaron Jones is always hurt, and he's already hurt again. But
but they just got Cam Akers.
Yeah. Coming off double Achilles repairs.
I'm just saying they just got Cam Akers. I'm just telling you. All right. So a couple games this week. All right, and we can give picks and stuff, but you do have, these are just some key games that I was looking at. Again, these aren't bets and stuff, but you do have a Super Bowl rematch this weekend, Niners versus Chiefs. You have Flacco and the Colts against the Dolphins. I think Indianapolis Colts are buying into the Flacco effect, so I think he remains a starter maybe the duration of the season.
As he should.
Texans versus Packers is a big game. Obviously, two dominant teams right now that I had circled this week to keep an eye on. Lions, Vikings, another game with two dominant teams. Then I also had down Saquon Barkley and the Eagles versus his old team, the New York Football Giants.
Right.
So just those are some games I said just to keep an eye on. But bet-wise, I don't have those. Those aren't my bets and everything. I just want to highlight some key games.
This is a good week for NFL. Hopefully it's not ruined by flags and the referee shows. So
it's awful, dude. The referees on the Monday Night Football game, the Jets and the Bills.
Dude, I couldn't even watch it.
It was awful. Over 204 yards.
It at one point I literally thought it was a joke. It was like 5 plays in a row.
Yeah, and there was like flags on both teams.
Yeah,
it's
they kept offsetting. It was awful.
It's every week. I got my picks. I like Lions +2.
You got +2?
Yeah.
I got +3.
Ooh, I'd rather that. I like Colts -3. I like Commanders -7.5. And I like the Steelers straight up money line for positive money, but I like Steelers +1.5 versus the Jets.
Who's the quarterback?
At home in Pittsburgh. It's going to be Fields, dude. They'll let them fool you. They're partially trying to keep it like unpredictable. I like Steelers. I like Steelers at home on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Watch TJ Watt to have a huge game.
You're bitter, man.
Almost like when you refused to name Aaron Rodgers by name when he
never did that.
100%.
Yes, you did. No, you did.
You said why would not call?
I mean, it was just tough. It was tough, but I understand.
I'm not as attached to Davante Adams. I think he's a punk. Like I just think it's a punk move.
Yeah, it was kind of,
He's just you know what? He's good riddance anyway.
Sure, you got yours or want me to go mine?
Yeah, so I cannot break this 500 thing I got going with my best bet. So kind of doubled up and went with 8 bets today, 5 of them in the NFL. First one is Bengals -6.5. I think they got to pick it up soon and like start playing well. And I think I keep saying it, but I think this is going to be the weekend they do it. Really, they got. I'm trying to remember who they even have.
The Browns.
Oh, the Giants. No, they got the Giants. Or no, I'm sorry, the Browns. Yeah, the worst team in the league. Giants was last week. Joe Burrow and I think Jamar Chase is going to have a huge game. I think Zach Moss is going to pound in 2 touchdowns as well. I think they win big. Trent, I'm also on the lines, but I got him +3. on the same game, I'm going Lions Vikings under 49.5 as well. I think that might be a stalemate. I think what's his name, Flores, can kind of play stalwart against Jared Goff in that offense. And I think Dan Campbell's defense, even with Hutchinson, they're going to rally and kind of play tough and get a win. I think I'd even take that money line. Next game, I take the Jets minus 1.5. Especially if Russell Wilson's playing. God, I hope to God he is, because that's even easier money. But I think that that was a good game yesterday. They had multiple opportunities to beat the Bills. And I know we're talking bad on them, and they lost 3 games in a row, but they're only 2 games back, and it's week 7. So they could really make a run and walk away with that division realistically. But I think they turn it around. That is a must-win game. I know I said last week was a must-win for them, and a lot of people did, but I think this week is definitely a must-win. Last game I have is Niners Chiefs under 46.5. Same thing. I think it's gonna be a defensive showdown and a lot of 3-and-outs. A lot of running plays.
47 now.
Okay, even better. Yeah, those are my NFL best bets.
All right. I got 5 NFL ones here. I got Saints plus 2.5. I think Spencer Rattler takes the Saints to victory here. I think the Broncos are overachieving. A lot of hype around them. I'm actually surprised that they are the favorites. So I'm taking Saints plus 2.5. I'm taking Texans plus 3. Texans are just a good team. I know the Packers are also a good team this year, but I mean, that's kind of one of those where it's like whoever's the dog, I'd probably take. So, what's he doing?
Lost a beard. Packers are debuting their whiteout uniforms.
Right, like I said, if the Packers were plus 3, I'd take the Packers plus 3. I just think the Texans being dogs. I know it's in Green Bay, but that's where I'm going.
Sure.
Bengals, Browns. I think this is going to be a low-scoring battle, so I'm taking under 42. I don't think the Bengals offense looks that good. I don't think the Browns have an offense, period. But then again, you also have the Browns, who have a very good defensive coordinator that can shut down teams. So that's why I'm going under 42 there. I'm going Colts money line. Not very good odds, but I think the Colts do beat the Dolphins. And the trap game of the week is making the Chiefs an underdog. Chiefs are plus 1 right now. I think tons of people jump on that line. I think it's a trap game. I think San Fran wins by a field goal or more.
Ooh.
So I would take the Niners minus 1.
Interesting.
And the only I was going to stay away from that game, but the fact that they actually have the Chiefs as underdogs, I don't care where the game's played, the Chiefs are underdogs. Everybody's going to jump on that as a bet. So I would say go the opposite direction.
Okay.
Why would you not? I mean, the Chiefs are undefeated.
Yeah, but you guys don't have McCaffrey.
I'm not betting. I won't. I either won't touch it or I'm betting on the Chiefs.
Is Debo back? Debo's back, right?
Everybody's back but McCaffrey.
I just don't think the Chiefs is. Every time the Chiefs are an underdog, they friggin' win. So it's like,
I'm just saying it's one of those. It's one of those lines, and it's one of those games where you got a 500 Niner team versus an undefeated Chiefs team, and you make the Chiefs underdogs. And I think everybody, regardless, it would be plus a half for the Chiefs, and I think I would say take the Niners because everybody jumps on that plus number. So, just me.
Kind of like the Texans.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, like I said, it could be
kind of like the Texans. No, I'm just kidding.
They're not undefeated.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go into college football because I know that was a lot of NFL, but there's a lot of college football this week. A lot of big games this past week, like we had talked about. Penn State pulled it off in overtime, so I really do think that USC's hopes are diminished completely of competing for the college football playoff. Ole Miss is also sinking after an overtime loss to LSU. There was a couple ESPN articles out there today that I read that saw that they're having Tennessee as one of the teams out just because of how they've now really slacked the last 2 weeks, especially. Not only that, Tennessee lost their top tackler, who's done for the season. At the same time, Mertz, the Florida quarterback, also done for the season, which was actually a non-contact injury. I don't know if you guys saw it. He tore his ACL. It was very just odd. He just kind of went down after the play. Nobody touched him. But Texas looks extremely dominant, well-deserving of the number one team in the country. Think Dan Lanning impressed the hell out of me with his intelligence at the end of that Ohio State game, bringing the 12 guys on to get the penalty. Thought that was awesome. It was very Bill Belichick-like. And yes, Jen. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Congrats to both you guys. I'm back to my old self with these beer fucking bets.
That's a double. Bets. That's a double win for me because both y'all bet me on that one, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then,
hey guys, who else? By the way, preseason prediction. Who else's national champion is undefeated?
Okay. Yeah. No, you know what your other national
Missouri
preseason prediction was?
Missouri?
No, Penn State's going to lose 3 games.
Still a lot of games left, Trey.
I know, but like you can't cherry pick a great prediction and a bad one.
I can because I had Penn State in my playoff. I didn't have him losing 3 games. So
hey,
maybe that was Tyler. I think it was Tyler then.
Yeah, I did not have
Trent,
that. Nobody did. You just made that up.
You guys are both Penn State haters. You guys both hate Penn State.
I wouldn't have Penn State in my playoff if I thought they were going to lose 3 games. Right? I said they'll win all their easy games.
That's
right.
Lose
Ohio State. I will say that win against USC would probably be one that I thought they would have lost. But yeah,
I can't believe they put 33 points up. That's what blew my mind.
Well, dude, Tyler Warren is awesome.
Yeah, 17 catches.
Dude, he's so fun to watch. He's just like a football player.
Hey, Lincoln Riley, 5-8 in his last 13 games.
Yeah.
The other team to keep an eye on, guys, too, is BYU.
Yeah.
Right now, if they could be the 4th team in, guaranteed out of the Big 12.
So Trey,
they keep please
don't bet on Oklahoma State.
I was just gonna say, Trent, I have no room to speak about bad predictions because I had Oklahoma State on as my 4th seed.
I have that in my notes. Trey, please don't bet Oklahoma State this week.
Yeah, no, trust me, I've been keeping eyes on them from a distance because I just want to see. And there, man, I was way off about them, huh?
It's quarterback, man, quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I just kind of rattled off some headlines from the past week. I mean, the only other headline I didn't mention was the fact that Cam Rising could be coming back for an 8th year, but that's a story for another day.
The one thing I want to talk about, you mentioned Texas being scary. Like they look really good, like very good, almost like head and shoulders above the next best team. I'm sure that makes Steve Fast Breaks pretty happy. But I thought the whole stabbing the flag on the Baker Mayfield jersey at midfield thing, like that was a little weird to me, and I think a little over the top, especially because how many years has Baker Mayfield been in the NFL?
Yeah,
6,
quite a few.
6 or too many for you guys to do that 6 years later. I don't know if it was like the first time that they had the opportunity to do that to Oklahoma on their home field or whatever, but I just thought that was so stupid. And I thought Baker's response was awesome.
Yeah, how many years removed, still living in there, living in
rent
their
free.
mind. Yeah,
and it's so true. Like it was kind of desperate, and if anything, it would just make so they get so offended about horns down, and then they do some corny stuff like that, and I don't know. It was just weird to me.
So let me pull up. You guys can kind of get into what games you want to look at first here and talk about. I'm going to pull up a little graphic here so we can kind of see. So it's hate week for Tennessee fans. Alabama hate week. It's kind of what everybody has been calling it. So
everyone,
all my Tennessee followers.
You're on the volunteer timeline.
There it is. All right, that's kind of small. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it is what it is, man. What's that like? It's worse.
No,
that's all right.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, but now we can only see half of the games.
There you go.
We're good. Right there's fine.
All right. One day it'll work. Making do with what we can make do with.
Yeah, limited resources.
So big game, obviously, top game, in my opinion. Look up top left. You got Georgia, Texas. Whew, man. Does Texas blow? Do they blow the doors off of Georgia?
No.
I don't. It's tough to. Yeah, it's tough to bet against both those teams, too, if I'm being completely honest.
If I'm betting on it, I'm betting Texas to win.
Can I tell you
however,
what? I mean,
I could totally see Georgia winning that. So that way, all it does is it keeps as many SEC teams with one loss and in the mix, because now you've already taken Bama's played Georgia, right? I think Bama beats Tennessee this week, so Tennessee gets their second loss.
Nope.
Alabama, I think, still has to play Texas. I mean, so one thing I love about
Tennessee
this
plays
change,
Georgia still.
Yeah, I think the thing I love is the elimination of the divisions within a conference. I love it because now you're getting some much more heavyweight battles, and I love it. But I mean, I'm going to pick Texas. I'm going to pick Texas to win outright. I'm not sold on Carson Beck. I'm just not sold on him.
A lot of people aren't.
But I you know what? I'm going to throw this out there, and we don't have to get into it. But Kirby Smart should be freaking suspended. It's bull crap. Pushed a friggin' player. He pushed a college kid. I'm sorry. Whether you say he wasn't you didn't see him or not, that's bullshit. Any other team's coach would be suspended.
Dude, he totally saw him. He tummy bumped him.
Tummy bumped him. He freaking shoved him.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, how do you not see the guy? The guy was like right on your stomach.
Hell's a tummy bump, man.
Yeah,
like bump with your tummy.
Dude, he trucked him.
Okay, Trent, we're saying the same thing. I'm just telling you, like, there's no way he didn't see him. Give him the old tummy bump.
Yeah. Well, I got Texas. I like. I think I have them. I have them right now. I think the lines change. I think I got just a straight up. I think you can get it for 3 now. I think I'm seeing. So, but that's still close enough. That's good.
I'm kind of taking your thought with like you said earlier with some of the NFL games. I think Trey, you said that you could see both teams winning. I completely agree. So that just makes me want to take the points, which is I would take 3.5 Georgia. That'd be my bet. But like I said, I don't
plus 3.5 Georgia.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I think it's a toss-up game and getting a touchdown worth of insurance, I'll take that
over a field goal.
Or a field goal, sorry, not a touchdown.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Texas wins by more than a touchdown. I think a touchdown or more. I think Texas takes it. Yeah. I know what you're saying, Trent. I know what you're saying. But can we really have Georgia with 2 losses? You can, and this might even take us into the next game. I also think that Alabama's going to have 2 losses after this week.
It's biased.
It might be biased, but I think Tennessee will figure it out, and it's in Knoxville. I think you're going to have a 5-2 Alabama and a 5-2 Georgia after this week.
It'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. I would love that.
So if we're going to the Bama Tennessee game, the pick I like in that one, I'm going to be cheering for Tennessee. However, I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I like under the 56.5.
I could see
might
that.
Be like 17-14, 17-13.
Yeah.
It's going to be a win-win game for me watching wise because I'm going to bet with my head. I want Tennessee to win. I like Tennessee. I think they're good. I just like watching Nico play. I think he's going to develop into a good player. I think they can be exciting, even though they haven't been too exciting this year. But I just think Alabama's offense is just a little too potent. And I think
can be, but if they make Tennessee has a pretty good defense. Now, again, I just brought up they lost their top tackler.
Yeah.
But if they can force Milroe to play like he did last week and make a lot of mistakes, interceptions and fumbles.
And they still won.
Barely. Shouldn't have.
I just think that it's going to be tough to score for Tennessee, especially the way they've been playing. And I think Alabama is not going to have as many issues, even though I think it will be a defensive game.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. We shall see. That's for sure. Dude,
that's going to be those two games are going to be awesome.
I'm super excited. I'm like looking at all these games here, putting all my bets out. But like, the next game may surprise you. Arkansas upsets LSU.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
Wow.
And at least I'm taking them with the points.
I'm taking points too, but I'm saying I think it does end up being an upset. I think right now it was at 3. Right now it's 2 on draft, minus 2.5 or plus 2.5 on DraftKings. So, but I think Arkansas upsets for sure. And I just, like I said, maybe I just want to see another temper tantrum.
You guys talk about having all those SEC schools hanging around with one loss. I think LSU is going to be exactly that. They lost their first game to it was who was that to?
Who, LSU?
Yeah, it was it was USC. They lost to USC first week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they're going to kind of fly under the radar. And what's his face? Brian Kelly is going to sneak in the playoff and
say fly over the radar.
Under.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you messed that up.
I think LSU wins that game pretty handedly.
Hey, the next game on here, the Notre Dame Georgia Tech game, I think you're going to see, and I've already been reading some analysts and stuff like that with playoff. Notre Dame not having a conference championship is going to hurt them to a point where them losing to Northern Illinois like they did, I don't think they get in the playoff just with that one loss.
If they don't lose another game, we'll get in.
I don't think so.
Too much money.
Yep.
I think there's too many other teams that are good.
Right now, they're number 12.
Okay.
So they're guaranteed. You look up ahead of you. Tennessee loses. Notre Dame's in.
Yeah.
Georgia loses
because
Georgia
12 would
loses.
be 12 would be the non-power 5 conference.
Yeah, so you got to get the top 11 teams, and I think Notre Dame. If Notre Dame wins out, they're in. Like that's a guarantee.
Yeah,
I got Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame killing Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think they win. I'm not saying Georgia Tech puts up a good fight. I'm just saying I don't think Notre Dame makes the playoffs.
Yeah,
but that's just me. Nebraska, Indiana, also interesting game. This Nebraska wants to keep hanging on and hanging around. They need to win this game for sure. I think it's going to be tough. Indiana's playing kind of out of their mind right now. So, again, though, if Indiana drops this to Nebraska, I think Indiana is they weren't real this year.
Wow.
Low scoring favors Nebraska, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I'm going to take Nebraska with the points here because I think they're both good teams.
You can almost get a full touchdown now with Nebraska.
Yeah.
I agree, low scoring.
The next game, though, I'm really looking forward to. I think that's up there with some of the other good games that we're going to see tomorrow on Saturday.
Talk about smash mouth football there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in that game, I like. Does that say 1.5 right there?
Yeah.
I have them. That's one of my best bets for Illinois. I got them at +3. Wow. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not when this was made, but yeah, it's up to. And I saw Notre Dame's -11 now.
It is. Illinois is +3.
Yeah.
Oh wow, line's definitely changed.
Yeah.
Big time. Oh wait a second. Why is that listed twice? Why is Arkansas listed?
I don't know. I was looking at that too. I got a game we can fill.
That just caught me off guard. Last one, I like Clemson to cover. I think Clemson's rolling, man.
Oh yeah.
I think their defense looks good. I think their offense looks real good. I think honestly, I think they're going to be in the mix for that ACC championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really do.
After dropping the first game like they did
to Georgia.
Who?
It was Clemson. To Georgia.
Yeah, they lost to Georgia. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they
right
dropped them way down.
That's one of the things I actually want to mention when we were talking about it. I think what's his name, Cade Klubnik. Yeah, I think he's making a Heisman candidate or argument for himself too. The way he's playing,
they're playing really well.
He's only thrown one interception. He's got like 15 touchdowns or something. Lots of yards every game.
I have trouble looking at the 21.5 though. It's a lot of points.
Yeah. They have been smacking teams though.
And I do think Clemson wins though. They did that their first half of their game last week. I think it was almost like 60 points in the first half. It was nuts. So let's just kind of replace the last graphic line there. The last game we could really kind of look at in terms of like top games this week would be Miami-Louisville.
Mm-hmm. Miami's minus 4.
5.
5.
Yeah, 5 right now.
And it's at Louisville.
I'd take Louisville plus 5. I think Louisville is a decent defense, and I think Miami, they fought. If this is a tight game again and Miami pulls it off, all right, I'm done doubting Miami again.
Right, 9 lives.
Literally. But if they struggle and lose, all right, they're back down to earth there. I mean, you're going to see ACC, Clemson, Miami, right? Should be.
Yeah, right now.
Be a hell of a game.
Whew.
So, there's something to keep an eye on. But who's Penn State? Oh, that's right. They have a bye week for a second time. What the hell?
Yeah, anyway.
So dumb.
Is that, do all teams get that or no?
Nope.
That's weird.
You have like 55 teams in your conference and you have 2 bye weeks. Like, what the hell's the deal with that? And you know what else? I'm just gonna say this. With as big as some of these conferences are, let's stop the baby games early in the season. Like, let's stop that.
Yeah, they will.
Let's just play football games. Let's stop having Kent State get blown out by whoever. Let's stop.
San Francis.
But seriously. There's like 105 teams in the SEC. There's 85 in the Big Ten. Like, let's just play football games. Get your best matchups and go beat the crap out of each other.
I saw the potential.
Kind of like they do in college basketball. I mean, that's what they do. How many big matchups are early? Like, I want to see big matchups.
I saw potential. They're going to do I think, Trent, you might even said it, the SEC Big Ten Challenge in football.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, man, do
even
that.
Years,
do it. I love
even
it.
years are at Big Ten schools. Odd years are at SEC schools.
Dude, love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You want to, and then while we're at it, let's also just get rid of conferences.
I agree with that.
Just do
100%.
that. I know we that's a whole nother
70-team league.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously, do it. So we'll do best bets. The only other thing I did want to talk about here too is a team to keep an eye on is Vanderbilt. Keep an eye on Vanderbilt. They're weird right now. Nobody can figure out. Can't believe they actually beat Kentucky. Kentucky has a hell of a defense. The fact that they were able to win 2 big games like that back to back. Keep an eye on that quarterback. He's also looking out for some NIL money. He's selling himself well on X.
Not this week, but next week they got Texas. So that'll be fun.
Texas, and they got Tennessee, I think, the last week too.
Man,
there's some big games. That's a rivalry game in a way.
Yeah.
But best bets. You guys ready?
Yeah. I can. So I already gave my one with Illinois +3. The other 2 I have is Missouri at home against Auburn.
I hate how you say that.
What? Oh, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
It's not. Keep going.
But I have them -4.5. And then the only other, it's my third and last bet for college football is SMU and Stanford over 53.5 points.
Interesting. Yeah. Trent?
Yeah, I'll say my favorites, my best. Navy -17 at home versus Charlotte. I like Kansas State money line at West Virginia. Will be a tough atmosphere, but according to head coach, he's just happy if his fans like tailgating. Don't know if you saw that interview or not. Army -16 home versus East Carolina. I'm
Wow.
all on the service schools, guys.
I was gonna say, is this your third week betting Navy?
Both, probably my fifth week.
Just love the semen.
Wow, inappropriate.
Seamen. Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
Sorry.
Army,
Pun intended.
Army -16 at home versus East Carolina, and then I also like Missouri. -4.5. I think Auburn's not that good. Games that I have lined up to bet, though, not my best bets. I like the BYU -9.5 versus Trey's favorite Oklahoma State. I got under 56.5 Alabama, Tennessee. And then I like the Texas -3.5 versus Georgia.
Watch, this will be the week Oklahoma State covers and wins or something.
Don't even talk yourself. You're already talking yourself into it.
No, I'm not. Trust me, I am not touching
Don't.
them, Trent. I am not. I've learned my lesson.
Ugh. All right. So I got a couple of best bets here. A lot, actually. Still trying to figure out. I think I have it narrowed down because I have been looking at more of the totals in terms of my best bets to make. Usually a little bit of an alternate just because I feel like those lines are always so darn close and tight that I'm finding right now that giving a 3-point buffer, maybe 2.5 sometimes, has been kind of the best. So I'll give that pick last right now where I'm at with that. So that is subject to change. But BYU 9.5. I think, Trent, you had mentioned that as well. I got Louisville +5. Nebraska, Indiana under 50.5. Tennessee +3. Illinois money line against Michigan. JMU -9 against Georgia Southern. Arkansas +2.5. I do think that they beat LSU. Texas, I'm taking right now. They're at -4. I'm taking Texas -4. They win by more than a touchdown. And then the alternate one that I'm looking at is I'm bringing back in the Red Raiders. Texas Tech and Baylor over 52.5. It's an alternate line right now. The line is actually 55.5.
Wow.
So that's again, that's subject to change. I'm still kind of looking at that, but right now, that's where I'm at. Hey, who knows? I may just take Texas Tech. Right now they're -6.5. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But so that's best bets.
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna be a good week of football.
Yeah. Another one. College football.
Right. Well, I'm hoping I always have faith in the NFL, and then I just get disappointed, but I'm gonna have faith again this week.
And
so
go ahead.
As I say, completely aside, but I figured Trent as the official spokesman of the ACC.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you want to talk about the preseason first team all the ACC real quick, or do you want to save that for another day?
I'm not worried about that. I just gonna actually literally was just gonna mention, boys, we got about 3 weeks until college basketball. My question to you is, does that mean 2 weeks from now we have a college basketball preseason special?
Ooh.
Is that what it is? 2 weeks from now?
3 weeks, but I'm saying in 2 weeks to get that out there before the game starts.
2 weeks we do our. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So 2 weeks. That's first weekend in November.
Yep.
Oh yes, Kansas, North Carolina. Ty, come on there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just getting my dates
in Fall Gallon in the newly renovated Fall Gallon Fieldhouse. So
that's crazy.
I just got my
UNC whooped Memphis today.
Yeah,
I just got my blue ribbon yearbook in the mail, fellas.
Without RJ
2 days ago.
There you go, Trent. Go ahead and present. I'll let you say it, Trent.
What? All season, preseason ACC first team?
Yep.
Oh, look at it.
Yeah. So me and
Nigel Pack from Miami.
My committee members just we put this graphic together as a group. You'll notice the lovely old school notebook lining along the left hand side. That was my call. But anyway,
it's good. It's a good graphic.
You're welcome. But yeah, Nigel Pack back for another year. Marcus Burton. Watch out for Notre Dame. That former Penn State coach who had Penn State out into the the Elite Eight, Trey, Penn State guy. He's getting his guys there, and they were bad early last year, but started to come on late. Cooper Flagg, obviously lots of hype around him. I think Kevin Garnett called him I don't know what he called him, very scary guy. Won't finish that full quote, but Hunter Salas, in my opinion, is going to be an absolute stud in the ACC. Just a pure scorer. And then I think back for his 20th season, he's now 32 years old. RJ Davis is again in his 7th year, 8th year, 9th year, 10th. Who gives a hell? Hey, Carolina likes to keep him for double the amount. They figure they take maybe one class a year anyways, so it takes them that long to graduate.
You mean someone takes one class for them a year?
Yeah, well, they only got to write a paragraph, and then the paragraph is 3 sentences. So.
Hey, ACC preseason player of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you know what? I'll hold my comments.
As I say, we'll debate all that stuff, but I at least wanted to pull this up as an ACC spokesman. I figured you'd need the
I feel like I'm literally
you want your graphic up there.
I'm wide awake all of a sudden. I got pure adrenaline running through my veins just thinking college basketball. Oh, I love college basketball because the Raiders suck, and I just I don't know what Tyler was doing.
What? I was tapping my phone. So, hey, listen, we will talk too because there was the top 25. We won't get into that stuff yet. We'll save that for. I'm assuming that's not going to change.
No.
Between now and our episode, what? We said 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. So 2 weeks, then 1, 2. That puts us at.
So 2 weeks then. 1, 2.
2 weeks then, 1, 2.
No, I was trying to get a date. October 30th.
14 days. That's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just a little before 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
That's funny.
October 30th is when to look for it. So.
All right.
Now. But anything else here before we close up shop?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe there on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate everybody listening. Right. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy this wonderful weekend of sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys Great soon. Episode, fellas.
Good talking ball. Say? Happy humpies. What are we saying?
Oh, yeah. Happy humping. Or what?
Happy. Don't think we said that.
Happy humping?
I was like, happy hump day.
No.
Let's just
go back. We'll figure it out.
See you, fellas.
Right. See ya.
See ya.